So that'd be one of those things that a procedure would be made, and once again, go through the committee, go through the council, and then it would be retained for future use. Andy's caught on to that. He's taken over my responsibility of calculating that avgas and Jet A now. But anyway, it's just a suggestion that I made to the mayor that it's food for thought. I think that we ought to implement something like that, and it would help us when we have new superintendents, new mayors, new aldermen, all the way around.
The motion is to go to a lottery system for the lake lots, campgrounds, and boat docks. Comment, Alderman Olive?
As I talked to you about today also, it is kind of my contention, because I've had people complain to me that we're going to the lottery system, that they don't care for it. They said they think that the present list can be altered and put made right. But it's kind of, I don't know. We, being the city, are the ones that let this list and everything get in the shape that it's in, because we didn't abide by our own rules and regulations. That's my major concern with it. That I think if you're going to write this thing out, then you need to dot all the I's, cross all the T's, and make sure everything is covered in one ordinance, rather than leave it up to, well, we'll change it a little here, a little there, because we'll be right back to the same mess that we presently are.
Okay, well,
I might have some question.
let me respond to that, and then
Go ahead. Respond to the question.
okay. Well, first of all, the people that when they the people that are talking to you, I tell you, I never got one phone call. We had we had 3 meetings on this, 3 months. The last meeting, I told that the room was filled with respondents, the people that they want to leave the waiting list as is, because what they're trying to do, they're trying to circumvent the system as far as I'm concerned. They've got like 5 family members on the waiting list, and they're trying to get all the good lots. That's my opinion. And this will make it more fair, because it would be the lottery system, and it'd be a drawing. The people that are saying that, and it just burns me when I hear this, they tell me that that's the way it's always been. That's not an argument for me. And if you've got a better way than the lottery, I'd like to hear it. I've gotten nothing that I've heard that's better than that. And if I heard it, I would be interested in changing my mind. But it seems like to me that if you got 10 lots available, and everybody that wants a lot, you throw your name in a hat, you pull them out, and everybody's got an equal chance to get a lot. Now what they do is, for example, they'll have several different people in the family be on the waiting list, and when it comes to, let's say I've worked my way to number 1 on the list, okay? So the first, here's the first lot available, and it's, Ernie, do you want it? No, that's not up to my standard. I don't want that. So it goes on to the next person. But I stay as number 1 on the list next year. So I just stay there until I get a prime lot, and then I'll say yes. Okay? I don't think that's fair, especially if you've already got a lot. And not most, I can't say that. There's a lot of people that have their names on that list. They've already got a lot. Let's open those lots up to people that don't have lots. Instead of having a monopoly on those lots, and that's not right.
And I understand that point of it. My point is that who let that happen?
That's the way it's always been, Jim. I'm sorry.
Alderman Driscoll?
My brief, not really a question, just comment is, if we are, as the wording in here says, that the system being a Taylorville residents be first in the lottery, why haven't we been first before? People have circumvented that before.
They have.
They haven't. So how will this lottery change that and address that situation?
Well, I think in order to be on the Taylorville list, you have to show your resident.
What have they done before? Have they shown somebody a friend's address or something? How have they gotten around it before that they won't apply it to this as well? I want to be sure that loophole is closed.
I'll guarantee you, I'll fix it. I will make sure that every person that's in the first drawing is a resident of
They
Taylorville.
always have been.
They always have been.
So how did the ones that are owners of, renters of a lot right now?
I'm not aware of that.
Well, okay, for an instance, this may or may not happen. Say my brother wants a lot, who lives out of Taylorville.
You're gonna use your
I
address.
drive it, and then
Mhm.
through, I give it up, I can give it to my brother, that's per
Mhm.
state,
So how do we close that loophole?
Well,
Will it be closed with the lottery is what I wanna know.
well, the lot has to go to a Taylorville resident, and he has the same right as everyone else, he could give that up, or he could give it to a family member who may or may not live in Taylorville. So that's.
So should we
what-
allow subleasing of it?
Well,
But-
I
we're
feel
not
like that
really,
would-
we're having that guy give it to a relation, which we allow. Now, if you wanna change that part of the ordinance, where the person, and then you get the same, right now, we require one name per lot. Okay, do we wanna do that, or do we wanna allow 5 names on that lot?
Just have them go.
That's another issue, but tonight's the issue that we just, are we gonna do lottery? We have 3 or 4 months to discuss.
Yeah, that was gonna be my point. We had this, we discussed this at length at committee, and this is just one little section of a broader area.
Right.
So we're trying to fix one thing, and we've got 5 or 10 more to come. So we'll fix this and address the other one.
And that gets
So-
back to my mayoral comment. I wish every alderman would come to every committee where we can discuss this in length and don't have to discuss it at council meetings. So, roll call.
Bernie Dorchenez.
Yes?
Kathy Driscoll.
Yes.
Lee Landzadi.
Yes.
Jim Olive.
No.
Chris Teddy.
Yes.
Megan Bryant.
Yes.
Motion carries 5-1.
Thank you. The next motion was to recommend to the city council to approve ordering the hardwired card reader from ePay at no charge and having the Lake Department purchase the materials needed to run the wires and install the weatherproof box at a cost not to exceed $2,500. I'll make that informal motion.
I'll
Motion by
second
Alderman
that.
Dorchenez, second by Alderman Olive. Questions or comments? Roll call.
Kathy Driscoll.
Yes.
Lee Landzadi.
Yes.
Jim Olive.
Yes.
Chris Teddy.
Yes.
Sorry. Megan Bryant.
Yes.
Bernie Dorchenez.
Yes.
Motion carries 6-0.
Okay, the last motion is to recommend to the city council to approve the purchase of metal signs for the marina, campground, and tent areas at a cost not to exceed $1,000. I'd like to make that informal motion.
Motion by Alderman Dorchenez, second by Alderman Driscoll. Questions or comments? Roll call.
Lee Landzadi.
Yes.
Jim Olive.
Yes.
Chris Teddy.
Yes.
Megan Bryant.
Yes.
Bernie Dorchenez.
Yes.
Kathy Driscoll.
Yes.
All right, motion carries 6-0.
Do you want me to read?
Finance Committee, if you'd like to,
Sure.
Alderman Bryant.
That, okay. Go ahead.
Did you want to?
Larry had asked me to.
Well, then you should do it since
Go
he
ahead,
asked you
Mr.
to.
Olive.
Thank you. And Larry did, he called me this evening, he was in the hospital today and he wasn't able to attend tonight. The first motion, come out of Finance Committee was, to recommend the city council to approve the lighting audit with Jarvis Electric, put that in the form of a motion.
Motion by Alderman Olive,
Second.
second by Alderman Bryant. Questions or comments? Roll call.
Jim Olive.
Yes.
Chris Teddy.
Yes.
Megan Bryant.
Yes.
Bernie Dorchenez.
Yes.
Kathy Driscoll.
Yes.
Lee Landzadi.
Yes.
Motion carries 6-0.
Okay, next motion, to recommend the city council to reimburse Maggie Tar for the amount of $2,500 to be paid from the BDD funds with the stipulations that the design becomes property of the city of Taylorville. Put that in form of motion.
Motion by Alderman Olive, second by Alderman Driscoll. Questions or comments? Roll call.
Chris Teddy.
Yes.
Megan Bryant.
Yes.
Bernie Dorchenez.
Yes.
Kathy Driscoll.
Yes.
Lee Landzadi.
Yes.
Jim Olive.
Yeah.
Motion carries 6-0.
Okay, the next motion, I'd like to make a motion to table this item, and the reason why I'm asking to do that is because Larry has most of the information on this, that I think he could present it better to the council.
The motion to table the third motion, second. Motion by Alderman Olive, second by Alderman Dorchenez. Questions or roll call?
Megan Bryant.
Yes.
Bernie Dorchenez.
Yes.
Kathy Driscoll.
Yes.
Lee Landzadi.
Yes.
Jim Olive.
Yes.
Chris Teddy.
Yeah.
Motion carries 6-0 to table.
The next motion coming out of committee was to recommend to the city council to accept the audit report as presented at the finance meeting held on October the 5th, 2020. That form of motion.
Motion by Alderman Olive,
Second.
second by Alderman Driscoll. Questions or comments? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries.
Okay, the next motion to recommend the city council to authorize up to $20,000 for the street maintenance line item to repair vehicles as necessary and prepare specifications to bid and purchase heavy-duty tandem vehicles. Put that form of motion.
Motion by Alderman
Second.
Olive, second by Alderman Bryant. Questions, comments? Roll call?
Ernie Dorchenez?
Yes.
Kathy Driscoll?
Yes.
Lee Landzadi?
Yes.
Jim Olive?
Yes.
Driscoll Teddy? Megan Bryan?
Yes.
Motion carries 6-0.
Next motion is to recommend the city council to change the date of the November finance ordinance meeting to Wednesday, November the 18th, 2020.
Motion by Alderman Olive, second.
Second.
Alderman Bryant. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries.
Okay. The last motion, recommend to the city council to accept the treasurer's report as presented.
Motion by Alderman Olive, second by Alderman Driscoll. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Ordinance Committee.
Thank you. Motion to recommend to the city council to direct the city attorney to amend the UTV ordinance to extend the time frame to year-round and remove sundown to sunup, and bring the ordinance back to committee for further review of cost prior to renewal period. That form of motion?
Motion by Alderman Bryant, second by Alderman Landzadi. Comments or questions?
I'm just really sad that my buddy here is not.
Quick comment, that you remove the sun up to sundown, okay.
We had that restriction that you couldn't write after sundown, sunup, except it makes no sense because carts aren't like that.
I mean, if, so that people could drive around at night, do they have lights and everything that are sufficient? Okay, as long as that's part of their.
It's part of the checklist to get your
Okay,
permit.
got it.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries.
Next was a motion to recommend to the city council to draft an ordinance to amend the city code to include carport recommendations and restrictions as discussed at the September 17th, 2020 ordinance committee meeting.
Direct the city attorney to prepare them.
Well, I haven't decided yet.
Motion by Alderman Bryant, second.
Second.
By Alderman Dorchenez. Comments or questions? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Motion to approve and or ratify payment of bills. Mr. Olive, do you have Mr.?
No, Larry didn't have that list for me.
All right, so I assume everyone looked at the bills. Is there any questions or comments on the bills? We don't have to read them all?
Well, I was looking forward to him doing it at the end, but I'm
He didn't make-
disappointed now. He's not
he
gonna
didn't
do it,
make-
especially after he wanted to do it.
2 hours later.
All right.
He didn't make any comments as to anything that needed pulled or anything, so
Okay.
I'm saying all of them. are-
So can I get a motion to
So
approve
moved.
the payment of bills?
Second.
Motion by Alderman Dorchenez, second by Alderman Bryant. Roll call.
Kathy Driscoll?
Yes.
Lee Landzadi?
Yes.
Jim Olive?
Yes.
Driscoll Teddy?
Yes.
Megan Bryan?
Yes.
Ernie Dorchenez?
Yes.
Motion carries 6-0. Per subparagraph G of 5 ILCS 120/2.06, this portion of the city council meeting is reserved for any person wishing to address the council on any relevant subject matters concerning the city. The Illinois Opens Meeting Act 5 ILCS 120/1 et C mandates no action shall be taken on subject matters not listed on the agenda, but the council may direct staff to address the topic or refer the subject matter to a future council and or committee meeting. If anyone wishes to address the council, please provide your name and address. Limit your comments or presentation to 3 minutes and avoid repetitious comments. Anyone out there like to address the council?
See none.
Seeing none, motion for adjournment?
So moved.
Alderman Bryant, second by Alderman Stoltz. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries to adjourn at 8:32.
8:32, that's it.
So are they thinking of something?
No, he-
Buddy, you gotta get involved with this? You don't have
There's one I can have this done.
Get a couple more votes out.